Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bruce, or the River Suck Out, and today I'm going to play in another tournament. It's a $3 buy-in, no limit Holdem tournament, and this is actually my first hand of the tournament. Well, I just missed it, but no big deal. I'm going to show you guys the lobby real quick. Right now we have 14 minutes left of the late registration period, so there's 14 minutes for people to still get into this tournament. Right now there's 68 players. First place right now is $61. Starting stack is 1,500, and there are 10-minute blinds. So those are the things that we need to, be aware of when the tournament starts. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys the hands that I do play. Anytime the money goes into the pot, I will show you guys what I do. And my strategy here from the beginning is going to be, very patient, and it always is from the beginning of a tournament. A lot of times the players like to throw their chips around very early. A lot of them like to build a stack or just get out of the tournament. And as you can see, this is just the first hand. I mean, he had a pretty solid hand, 3 kings. But the other players are just throwing their chips in pretty loosely. I'm going to click on the previous hand just to see what this player had. And it doesn't show me, or I'm not seeing it. But either way, you can look up the previous hands and see what they had somehow, but I'm not finding it on there. But yeah, from here on out, guys, I'm going to show you guys the hands that I do play, and we'll see what I do with this $3 in this tournament. So, well, I just wanted to show you guys this hand. It's only like my third hand of the tournament, but I would have flopped the absolute nuts. And there's like 4 people in the hand going crazy. But one thing I wanted to say about that is, just because you would have flopped the nuts, you shouldn't get angry about the hands that you did fold. I believe I folded it properly. There was no reason for me to get involved in this pot, but a lot of people like to look back at their hands and say, oh, I should have played. No, you shouldn't have played. That was 5-6 is 5-6, and you should have folded it. Just because you would have flopped the nuts doesn't mean anything. All you can do is play proper poker. And here I have ace-10. I have a limp in front of me. I'm probably just going to limp in, which I do, and I'm going to see what happens on the flop. I could have elected to raise there, but it is very early into the tournament, and I'm just going to play it cheaply. And I completely missed. I do have the best position, so I could come after, could come at the pot with a little stab. But I really have no draw and no pair, so I'm going to check and see if I can get a free card, which I do get an ace. It's probably the best card I could have asked for, really. And the big blind bets 40. There's really no telling what this player has because the pot wasn't raised, so you can't rule out, just one pair. They may have 2 pair. They may be on a diamond draw, spade draw. Well, both draws missed. I feel like I have the best hand, so I'm just going to try a little value bet. 60 into 160. And I get a call. So I take down 1 pot. And I'm going to fold this one. Alright, so I'm in the big blind with Jack-6 offsuit. And the blinds did just go up this hand, so they're now at 15 and 30. That means we're 10 minutes into the tournament. And I really don't want to see any type of a raise here, but I will easily fold if there is. So I'll just check it. And I missed. I'm easily going to check fold out of this hand. These guys are taking forever. So he bets 30 and I fold it. Okay, so I'm in the small blind. Queen Jack offsuit. We have 1 limp, 2 limps. I don't really want to see a raise in this spot either. And I'll just see it for half price. And again, I miss. And this is why the small blind is the worst position on the flop, because I have to act first, and I have really no chance at trying to bluff at the pot. So, okay, so it's 7-8 suited. We're in the cutoff position. There's a raise from first position to 80, and I've said before. Well, now I'm going to easily fold it. There's a re-raise, but I've said before that a raise from the first position or from the earlier positions, those usually indicate a stronger hand, and you don't really want to get involved unless you're holding a stronger hand yourself. And we got a re-raise to all in, so I'll let you guys watch this hand, but I doubt that that gets a call. Maybe from this guy because he's already mostly in there and he does call. I was hoping this player would prove me right by calling with some aces or something, but you can usually guess that they're holding a stronger hand. Okay, so ace jack versus tens, just a classic race here. Ace high hard draw, and he hits the hearts, so this player is going to double up. And I would have flopped 2 pair on that flop, so I would have been in trouble had I seen it. Okay, so I have ace 3 suited in a middle position. There's a limp, and I'm just going to do the same. No reason to really raise here. I do have some possibilities. I'd like to see some clubs. I don't really want to see an ace with this hand because my kicker's not that good. Well, that changes things completely. He just goes all in, and that's going to be an easy fold. Alright guys, so another quick look at the lobby. The registration period is over. And first place has gone up to $75. There was a total of 105 players entered. And yeah, so we're 17 minutes in. Average chip stack is 1,700, but we're still very early, so lots of time to play. I wanted to point out that this player lost a big pot and then has gone all in the past 2 hands in a row. Not this hand, but the past 2 hands. So this player may be on a little bit of tilt, and if I find myself in a position to call this player's all in, I'm more likely to do so because they have gone all in 2 out of 3 hands. You know, in my opinion, it's out of tilt. Okay, so the blinds just went up again to 25 and 50. It's a little quicker paced tournament. And I pick up pocket 7s, and I'm going to limp in. There's a player ahead of me that's already limped in. And this is that spot where I might just, call this player's all in if they were to shove all in again. But he doesn't. He just limps in. And I'm looking for a 7 on the flop. Okay, so the big blind raises to 275. Now that's a pretty big raise. And in my opinion, I would have to hit a 7. They probably have an overpair. And I am going to go with my read and just fold it. I don't think that my hand is going to be any good unless I hit a 7, and I'm not willing to put that many chips in. I have a read that they have like pocket jacks or better. Typically when you're in the big blind and everybody's already limped in, there's no reason to raise. I mean, and this guy doesn't seem like he's on tilt, so I'll easily fold that one. I could be wrong. He could have had like ace king or something like that, but I know that he's going to come out with a big bet again, and I'm not really willing to face another big bet from him, so I'll just lay it down. Okay, so I'm in the big blind with 9-10 suited, and I was afraid of that. This player just shoved all in for 450, and although I really like my hand, I just can't continue. I can't call that bet. Unfortunately, I do like this hand, but I'm just going to fold it. Now there's another re-raise to all in. I'll let you guys see what happens. The reason I like that hand, suited connectors, I just like them. So we'll see what would have happened. And of course that would have been a great flop for me. And I would have won it, but I just can't call all my chips off with 9-10. So small blind, 5-4 offsuit. And I will only call if it's half price to me. I will not call to a raise. And there's a raise, so I'm out. Okay, so I'm on the button with the hand that I will play if it's not raised. And I'm not going to raise it myself either because there is a limp as well. 5-6 suited. Bunch of possibilities. And again, these guys are just taking forever. So we have 4 limpers total. So I'm easily just going to follow. And hopefully there's no raises, and this player just continues to shove all in. Now, last time they went all in with ace-5 and got really lucky against ace-king. I mean, I cannot call with this hand in no way. But that's a very aggressive, maybe a little bit on tilt play. And just like that, I'm down to 1,400. In this hand I have basically the same hand as what I had last hand, just a little bit stronger with 5-7. And my second chance at playing that kind of a hand. So roughly the same position, just one less cutoff position. And I really fear that the same thing's going to happen. If I just limp in, this player is just going to shove all in, but they don't. The button folds, so we know I have the best position. And I flop nothing. One diamond out there. And there's an all-in. These players are just not playing poker. I mean, you can make a little bet and see where you're at, but just shove it all in, and then it gets called. I mean, they're just not really playing poker. Just horrible. Pair of tens. Well, I mean, why didn't you raise that pre-flop? Maybe you wouldn't have even had a call, and I would have went runner sevens to win the hand. Of course, that's my luck. And I'm gonna fold this one. And before I pointed out this player being a bad player, they just got all their chips in there with 5-jack offsuit. And this player won all those chips. It's unfortunate. I was looking for a chance to knock this player out. But, you know, in these $3 tournaments and in these just smaller buy-in tournaments like this, you're going to come across a lot of players like that just don't really care to be here. They're really kind of playing a scratch-off ticket more than they're playing poker. And you just have to, you know, weed your way out, get through the first hour of blinds, get through those players that are just here to gamble. And that's the reason why I prefer to play at the casino rather than playing online. Or at least when I play at the casino, I play for, you know, a couple $100, and it means something to everybody at the table. So this kind of a tournament is not so much poker as it is gambling. It's a lot more gambling involved, and these players know it, and that's why they're just shoving all their chips in there with 5-jack. Okay, so now the blinds went up again to 50 and 100, and I would love for someone to go crazy in this hand. And because I believe, well, I was just going to limp in and hope that somebody else raised it, but now there's a limper ahead of me, so I'm going to do it for myself and make it 350. It's a little bit bigger than what I would normally make it. And I would love for someone just to come over the top and go all in, as I am already a little short stacked. So fold all the way around to this guy who limped in. He's taking his time. Well, I'd say that's a good flop for me. The only thing that I could possibly be worried about here would be the flush draw. But I'm going to check if he checks. And he just bets basically half of what I have left. And I'm just going to put it all in here. But I am going to wait a few seconds to make him think that I have somewhat of a decision. I don't think that he's going to fold, but I just want to wait just a bit. So I put it all in there. I don't see how they fold here. And that was a very unfortunate flop for him, but that's what you get for playing Queen 4. And like I said, these players are just awful. And being patient pays off. So another decent hand, but I am in somewhat bad position. And this guy limps in again. Probably with Queen 4 again, some crap hand. And I will limp in as well. This is a hand that you could raise with, but not from this position. But a lot of these players would probably be willing to put all their chips in this position. And I have to pause the video when it gets to this player because they're always sitting out every hand, taking the entire time. So again, I completely miss. And this player bets the pot, 350. And you can see there's no way I'm going to bluff this player out of this hand. They've bet enough to basically commit themselves. So I'm going to fold it. And guys, that's going to be the end of segment number 1. I'm going to turn this into however many segments it takes. And if you guys want to watch the second part of this video, okay, he does have queen. He likes those queen random cards. I mean, it's just garbage. But all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in segment number 2.